All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The Washington Commanders have won 6 of their last 7 football games. They currently hold their own fate in their hands. As Taylor Heinicke said this past week, they're building confidence. Doesn't always have to be pretty. Wasn't pretty against Atlanta. It just hasn't been that pretty. But they have had some very impressive victories. A couple of weeks ago, Philadelphia. They're just finding ways to win, and their offense is making enough plays. Their defense is phenomenal. Statistically speaking, their defense is only ranked number 10 right now, but I think they're top 5 to me. I wouldn't even be surprised if they were more closer to like 3 or 4. This is a very elite defense. They've been missing some pieces. They're not fully healthy. Chase Young will be making his comeback from getting down with the flu, but their defense has only given up about 20 points a game. They're actually giving up just barely under 20 a night. And when you have that good of a defense, you're going to be in every single football game. There have been a couple instances, that Minnesota Vikings game, otherwise they could be on a 7-game heater right now, where you just got to clean things up, right? You got to clean things up, no interceptions, no fumbles, whatever the case may be. Got to make better decisions, but their offensive line was extremely unhealthy to start off the season, and they have gotten back. Brian Robinson Jr. coming back has been absolutely huge. Like I said, you got Chase Young back, or you're getting Chase Young back. Jahan Dotson, he came back a couple of weeks ago. Haven't really seen that same connection with Carson Wentz or with Taylor Heinicke as he did with Carson Wentz to start off his career, but very promising. They have one of the best, actually, to me, one of the most low-key best wide receiver cores in the entire National Football League. Before we get any further in this video, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Commander fans, you guys blessed up my last video, so I'm definitely going to make more content on you guys, so hit that like button, show some love down below if you want more Commander videos. Let's try and get this video to 250 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. But basically, earlier today, because Monday Night Football concluded yesterday, or the week concluded yesterday, we have the power rankings. And the way I view Washington is this: you have 5 games remaining, all right? Next week you go to New York, and I understand their schedule is not necessarily the easiest by any means, right? You go to New York this upcoming Sunday, then you come back, or you go on a bye week, then you come back home, play New York again, head to San Francisco on New Year's Eve, which is super cool. Come back home, play Cleveland with Deshaun Watson, and then you finish off the season at home against Dallas. Well, it's not the easiest schedule, right? It isn't, but this offense is clicking, and the defense is getting healthier. So you took down Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, banged up. This team can beat anybody, all right? And I was a little surprised to see them on the power rankings sitting at an average of 13.1. Shout out to hogshaven.com for that info, but 13.1, I'm like, I'm not quite sure about that one. It's going to change in 1 week. I'm not trying to jinx this team, but I've been watching a lot of the New York Giants, and they didn't play horribly, I guess, against Dallas on Thanksgiving, but the week before that against Detroit is a very slept-on football team, just in general, but they looked horrible, man. The score does not reflect the way that game actually was, and New York was at home. I know the Giants started off the season extremely hot. I know that they have a solid football team. I don't think that they're quite there yet, and I do think they will definitely. I don't see them making the playoffs with their schedule, with their remaining schedule. I don't see them making the playoffs. I got a comment yesterday on a video, my last Washington video, saying, I genuinely believe that all 4 of our teams in the NFC East are going to make the playoffs. And I'm sitting that thinking, it really isn't crazy. I think in order for that to happen, the Giants and Washington would probably have to split, but I don't think that will happen because of the Giants. I don't have faith in Jones. I just don't have faith in that roster. Like, Taylor Heinicke and this team, after starting this season 1-4, they won week 1, right? They lost 4 straight football games. People were thinking, maybe is Ron the right coach? Do we have the right personnel? Do we have the right quarterback? The expectations were higher, right? Expectations weren't necessarily at that Super Bowl level, which is fine because they're getting there and the future is extremely bright over in Washington. But, 1-4, man. You start 1-4, and granted, the football season is so long, but the resiliency, determination, just getting the job done on both sides of the ball, led by Taylor Heinicke, led by this defense, it's been very cool to see. I think resiliency is a perfect word to describe so far the last 7 weeks of the Washington Commanders season. Defensively, they have just been getting the job done. You see this flag here. They shut down Mooney. They shut down the Bears on, what was it, the 2-yard line. I'm a Packers fan. It was not a fun game for me. The Eagles, I mean, like, the game literally started off with a turnover. The game started off with a turnover against an undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, and they won the football game. They completely shut down Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter. Completely shut him down in the fourth quarter. So, shows you can go, I mean, on any given Sunday, you can be anybody, but Philadelphia, one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL right now, shut them down defensively. They shut down Atlanta this past weekend at the goal line. Caused a turnover, Kendall Fuller, right, the interception. They're getting it done on defense. But there have also been some games like the Indianapolis Colts. There's been some games where offensively they have made the proper plays. I've been seeing as the weeks have progressed, definitely saw that one with Scary Terry against Green Bay. Same thing happened in Philadelphia. You saw one. They're making plays. Their offense is making plays, and the run game with the healthy offensive line and the versatile unit they have with Gibson and Robinson, and also their receivers, right, Curtis Samuel, Scary Terry in general, it makes your offense that much more creative. It makes it that much more versatile, and we saw a season-high 176 rushing yards against Atlanta. So if they're going to get the job done defensively every single week, and they're going to get the job done protecting your quarterback. Taylor also does a phenomenal job just not getting sacked. He has that agility, he has that speed that Carson Wentz just doesn't have. Not mobile actually at all. If your offensive line is going to get the job done, which means your running game's also going to get the job done, it just is going to boil down to the quarterback. The quarterback Taylor has done, like, he's just a leader. You can tell these guys are fully bought in with him. They love him. I had some clips playing at the earlier on in this video. Like, they love him. Like, he's a very hard guy to not like. Like, I bet even if you're in the NFC East and you hate the Washington Commanders, which is kind of crazy, but I'm sure there are people who do, it's hard to not at least respect Taylor Heinicke. He has really gathered this team. They've created and established this culture, and they're just riding that momentum. They're building that confidence. So, to me, I know they're the third wild card team right now. I mean, they're a playoff team. And once you get into the playoffs, I don't care who's the quarterback. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care where it is. You don't want to play Washington. Like, you just don't. So for today, man, hit that like button, hit that sub button. If you want more Washington content, show some love down below, and I'll see you guys later.